So I was saying before the break, we obviously can't have two soap icons with us today, can we, without talking all things soap. And we're starting with Emmerdale. Now, despite being in a loving marriage, having tied the knot twice to husband Paddy, in a recent storyline for Lisa, Mandy Dingle is seen to lie to Paddy about how severe the financial crisis at her salon really is. Oh, you naughty thing.
Yes.
But then we were saying, is it ever OK to lie? You know, maybe you're trying to protect somebody or you think I'll sort this out, they don't need to know. Would you ever lie to Al or hide something from family generally?
No, I mean, some people believe in, you know, a white lie doesn't matter. Mandy Dingle would lie about everything. That's all she ever does. But for me personally, I am an absolute advocate of honesty is the best policy. I'm always like, treat people how I want to be treated myself, because if I found out that it was a lie, for me, any kind of lie, whether it's white or a big whopper, it's still a lie. And I think if you don't have trust in the relationship, you're kind of backpedaling as far as, you know, as soon as you've began. And I think to get yourself to a, you know, a loving relationship, you need that trust, don't you? Definitely matters.
Yeah, I think so. But sometimes white lies, Sue, can be...
I think some are acceptable.
It can be kind sometimes.
Tough love, tough love.
I tell you what, I don't even know why I do this. It's ridiculous. I mean, we're both earners. We're both, nobody's sort of beholden on anybody else. But sometimes I will go and I'll just buy myself something and I'll put it in the cupboard. And he'll say, when I take it out and put it on, he goes, oh, that's nice. Is that new? And I go, no, it's been there for months. and I don't know why. I don't know why it is. It's really stupid. I mean, and the other things I might lie about, if I'm making him a cup of tea and he says, is that cup clean? And I go, yeah, it is. I think that's acceptable.
Wiping it on the end of your jumper.
Yes.
And if you found out he'd lied to you about something, would you be angry?
Things like that,
yeah.
No. I mean, he does lie about me. He says we haven't got any peanuts in one. I know we have. So things like that. But yeah, I mean, look, you know, I think you learn very quickly that it's not the way to live your life, is it? And it's not helpful.
I have to say, with the Mandy Dingle storyline, though, people, we've talked about it a lot, Brenda, about debt. I think people feel very shamed about debt, and it can creep up on people. They think they're managing something. Excuse me, it's credit card debt or store cards or whatever it is, and then it creeps up, and then they feel ashamed to say to anybody, look, I'm in trouble here.
But I realised with mine, it was embarrassment, but, you know, that created even more stress because I was just thinking of, well, if I tell them, they're going to say, I told you so, and then they're going to start reading the riot act. So, you know, I'm just... Now, I've learned from my mistakes to just be open and honest.
But listen,
is the best.
Talking about hiding things from your family...
Yeah, but that wasn't a lie. That wasn't a lie.
It was hiding.
I literally hid.
I mean, I'm not... There's no moral judgment from me.
And again, it comes back to embarrassment and, you know, I don't want to tell... I told you so. I hid my pregnancy from my family, especially like my Auntie Pam and my brother.
For how long?
They found out when I was 8 months pregnant. But the way that I looked at it, I found out when I was 4.5 months pregnant, so I had to have a bit of time to digest everything. And I also wanted to get myself secure as I could so that I could go and say... It's like with the cancer, you know, I didn't want to know how far I was and I got the diagnosis for my breast cancer, but I didn't tell anybody until I knew, OK, what my treatment was going to be.
Did you not tell the family, Auntie Pam particularly, because you thought what their reaction might be?
I knew... I was scared to say, even though I was, you know, I was 21, but I was still scared at the reaction of being embarrassing the family and, you know, getting a very stern telling off. And, you know, when I finally told them, I don't even know what I was hiding it for. It's just it just feels really stupid.
But why would it have been embarrassing for the family?
Because it's you know, you're having a baby out of wedlock and you haven't got a partner, all of that sort of stuff. It's like you're bringing shame to the family. That's kind of, you know, I was raised in the religious background, and so you don't do those things. So, you know, and obviously I'd moved away from Luton and my family didn't want me to move, and I was the only one that was in London at the time, and they told me not to move, and then I moved, and then I got pregnant. Did
you actually tell them or just turn up?
I just turned up on the doorstep, Just turned up on the doorstep, shaking, trembling. Hi, Auntie Pam. I mean, there was no way of hiding it. I was massive with Jamal. It was a big...
I think a lot of the time, though, There's a lot about, you know, when I think about, you know, somebody would say with an addiction, if they had like a gambling addiction, and the reason that they all feel so terrible about it is it's almost in a way they believe that they are protecting their partner and they don't want their partner to worry. So there's all different reasons, isn't there, for that?
What I'm saying is sometimes people think, I'll sort this out, it'll be okay.
Yeah,
but
I can
often
manage
that,
it.
often it escalates, doesn't it? Because then you're borrowing to pay that off to keep, you know, and sometimes I think just coming out in the open with it is, you know, people will then offer to help you. There's always help available, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to